Hello everybody, this is Gretchen Heidel and I am live. It's our Monday night date on the 27th and I am here talking to you on Facebook Live all about the astrology and the different things that are going to be happening this week. And welcome if you're just joining. And go ahead and like and share with your friends. I think this is so much fun. So whether you're joining me on the Facebook Live tonight or on the Facebook replay or on my YouTube channel at Gretchen Heidel, like and share. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel and go ahead and like the video because that helps me with the YouTube algorithms and all those wonderful things. So if you're just joining, I love to hear your astrological sign. You all know that. And it is a hot Monday night up here in Vermont. So for Vermont, we're having like one of the hottest summers that I can remember. So welcome everybody, and I'm so glad that you're joining. So we're going to be talking a lot about what a cardinal T-square is, how this affects you on a personal level, and what in the heck is that thing anyway? It sounds like a gibberish or something, right? T-square, what could that be? Well, I posted about it today on my astrological page, Astrology Updates by Gretchen Heidel on Facebook, or Gretchen Heidel on Instagram. I always post everywhere about the different astrological energies. And so if you're just joining, hi, welcome. Go ahead and post your astrological sign. Corbin is Scorpio, still again this week. He always says that, it's so funny. Iris, hello. Oh, I just talked to you today or texted with you. Aries, welcome. Marianne, Aries as well. And yeah, so anybody else that's joining, please go ahead and say hi and post your astrological sign. And also, where are you viewing this from? What state or area are you from? I love hearing from everybody. Heather is a Libra. Oh, hey, Heather, how you doing? Darlene said time has sped up. Paula, Virgo, welcome. I think you're my first Virgo tonight. So it's interesting because we have a lot of people on the page right now that are involved in the cardinal T-square that I'm going to be talking about. So, what is happening? So yes, somebody reminded me today. I thought this was supposed to be the lull, like you kept saying the summertime was going to be easier and whatever. I said easier, not easy. 2020 is not easy. None of it's easy. So it's a thing, 2020 right now. It's just going to be kind of difficult and kind of challenging. It's one of the most challenging years in history, like on record, okay, in a long time. I mean, even longer, like the hardest that's been in our lifetimes, really, in an astrological sort of way, but also in a kind of real life sort of way, right? But astrology and real life is the same. It's as above, so below. And if you've ever heard of that expression, it's kind of what that means. It's that we're not separate from the universe. We're all a part of one, and we're all a part of the universe. So let me show you guys. Oh, I have so many people joining here. This is amazing. Okay, Penny Capricorn. I'm still working on your stuff, girl. Taurus, Jane Moon Wolf is Taurus. My mom is a Virgo with Capricorn moon, so we're going to be talking a lot about Capricorn tonight. Lisa, Taurus. Amir, Taurus. We have a bunch of Tauruses all of a sudden. Monica, Leo with a Virgo rising. Heather said the last few days have been emotionally rough. Yeah, it's just kind of been like that. So if you guys remember from my broadcast on the week of July 13th, I talked a lot about the sun opposing all of these planets that are in Capricorn. So the sun is in Cancer or was in Cancer then, and then all of the rest of the planets were in Capricorn. And so that was happening. But now, if you remember from last week's video, I was talking about how Mercury is going to kind of mimic the same thing only this week. So now Mercury is involved. And so whenever Mercury is kind of involved with things, I'll tell you, it's one of those deals that Mercury, people will contact me like, is it a Mercury retrograde right now? What's happening with Mercury? Because things break down, and like even my electric toothbrush broke this morning, and I was like, no, my electric toothbrush. I love that thing. But it's not holding its charge. So we might see things, pertaining to breakdowns of electrical equipment, glitches with cell phones, with computers, all of that stuff. And so, yeah, it's definitely like almost mimicking a Mercury retrograde. So Jocelyn is saying she's Libra. Ashley said emotionally rough for you too, especially with a romantic. Oh God. We'll talk about that, Ashley. Corbin said yes. It does get hot in Vermont, but actually right now in Vermont it's hotter than usual. It's just been a very, very abnormally hot summer for us. Darlene, oh no, your freezer died. So yeah, that's the thing we're talking about. So let me show you, because I like to come prepared for our Monday night date. I always like to show up for our date. What is a cardinal T-square? So I thought visuals really help when we talk about these things. A T-square, I don't know if you can kind of see. It's sort of, I'm gonna scribble on this thing. Sort of looks like a T, I guess, in a way. If I draw the line there. Okay, see how it's called a T. Okay. And basically what the deal is that it's involving all of these planets. So this is the symbol for Mercury. This is the symbol for Mars. And these are the symbols for Pluto and then Saturn. So Mercury is opposing right now Pluto and Saturn. And by the way, Jupiter is going to end up in the mix there as well. And then they're opposing each other. And then what's happening is these two are square Mars. Mercury is square Mars. So it's called a T-square. And so it's basically two squares plus one opposition of those planets. So it's called difficulty. All of that is a fancy way of saying difficulty. My mom said her refrigerator just died. Yeah, she was, oh my gosh, my mom's been going through crazy. And then I had, I don't know if you guys saw on my personal page, my trees all of a sudden cracked and all these things happened. So anyway, this is called a T-square in astrology. Now, if you don't care about astrology and it doesn't really matter to you, none of that, I don't know if any of this kind of shows up, if this is backwards or forwards. Mercury's in Cancer, Mars is in Aries, and then these two are in Capricorn. A cardinal T-square means that all of the cardinal signs are involved. And I just said all. There's a little tricky thing to this. So Mercury is in Cancer, which is all about emotion and feeling the feels and talking about emotion and talking and feeling our feelings and being a little weepy and kind of crying a little bit tonight. Oh no, Jody, your pool pump died. Oh gosh. Yeah, see, and so Mercury is kind of almost mimicking in a way this weird like kind of pattern of almost like a retrograde. And so, but Mercury is in very sensitive, very emotional Cancer. I mean, that's what we just had Mercury retrograde in, was Mercury has been in Cancer for a long time because of the retrograde cycle. And then the other two, really 3/4 planets all in Capricorns, like, who cares about your damn pool pump or your refrigerator, your freezer, or your, we gotta chop, get to work, and we have an agenda, we have things to do, we have places to go. And Capricorn energy, and I'm talking about this just global, I'm not picking on Cancers and Capricorns here. Capricorn's work. So Cancer's home and family, feelings and emotions, mothering, nurturing, caretaking. And Capricorn's like chop, a little bit ruthless, a little bit sometimes self-centered or self-focused. Like, I have things to do and I have places to go. So those two are opposing each other. And then those two are also squaring, meaning not getting along. Think of the squaring off, okay? Mars, Mars is in Aries, also selfish, also self-centered. And I'm in Aries myself. I'm not throwing stones at glass houses here. And Aries in Mars is just like, I just want to get this done. I want to get this over with. Who cares about all this stuff? Capricorn shut up and Cancer shut up and everybody shut up. And Mars in Aries is really prone to anger. And that's what we're feeling. So, And what's happening is I'm seeing a lot of people like either feeling like this is like, oh my God, there's just too much going on. There's too much stuff happening in my life, or like too much on my plate, or too much to handle. And in some ways it's making some people just tired. It's just like, sometimes when you have too much to do and you just end up taking a nap because like I can't even think about any of this stuff. Like I just have to lay down. Well, then there's the thing. So Jill said, hey, Taurus, welcome. Paul wondering if astrology applies to non-humans like animals, you mean, Paula? Yes, I have done many cats and dogs charts, including my own animals, the ones that I have their birth dates anyway. So yes, it does absolutely. And I have really helped pet owners with their pet charts, by the way. Lauren, hey, Lauren, Virgo. Cancer, Lori, Lysai, I'm not sure how you say your name, Cancer in Vermont. And Renee, 15-year-old, got angry with me for the first time this weekend. Yeah, I mean, it's just been, there's some anger, there's some aggressiveness. You know, Aries tends to want to push its agenda, be in charge, get out of my way, stop sniveling. And then Cancer's like, oh, my... you know, and so we're kind of vacillating between crying and being angry, and oh my God, there's all this stuff. So how do we get out of this? How do you get out of this square? Well, there's a very interesting thing that kind of is the deal. Okay, so on the other side, which you kind of can't see, and I'm just scribbling here, that's missing, because there's 4 cardinal signs in the zodiac. There's Aries, there's Cancer, there's Capricorn. The missing link is Libra. And so I drew it on because you can't see it because it's missing, but that's basically Libra's energy is the only cardinal that's missing out of this deal. And cardinals, just to let you know, if you're one of these signs, cardinals are the leader. So have you ever heard of the expression, it's an old-fashioned expression, like there's too many chefs in the kitchen and not enough cooks? That's what's happening in the astrological skies right now. Who's in charge? Aries, Capricorn, Cancer? We don't know. Libra? Like, who is in charge? And how do we figure this out? And we're getting kind of like this, like a very strong planetary onslaught because all these leaders kind of want to be in charge. And so how can that end up kind of affecting us? Well, people can be pushy right now. People can be very aggressive. People can be very self-focused. My way or the highway. You know, we can encounter a lot of these things. Even just people being aggressive, like cutting other people off while you're driving and stuff like that. So Ashley actually just said it. Ashley Jean, Libra brings balance. So actually, how to get out of all of this energy is to concentrate a little bit more on the Libra side of things. Libra is balance, beauty, fairness, and relationships and partnerships. Almost all of these other signs, including Cancer, you know, I have actually seen this with Cancers, can be pretty self-focused, you know, pretty selfish, self-focused. Cancer, you know, a lot of Cancers walk around like, I'm so empathic, I'm so sensitive, and it's all about me, you know, because they're thinking about themselves all the time. You know, that can be a little bit of a self-focused thing. You know, I'm so sensitive, you have to watch what you say around me and what you do around me. I mean, that can be a self-focused thing of Cancer. But Libra is all about balance and partnerships, okay? So Libra is all about focus on the other, okay? And focus on your partner, and focus on your, you know, Libra wants to meld with another person and wants to have a partnership, you know, wants to connect with somebody and have a loved one and have, you know, somebody in their life. Now, of course, to extremes, all of the astrological signs have paradoxical energy, meaning that there's a positive and a negative to each side. You know, Libra can for sure be codependent. You know, I mean, that's I'm usually telling my Libras when they want to break up with somebody, I'm like, get a house plant, get a dog or a cat. You know, have somebody in your life besides another relationship. My goodness, Gwyneth Paltrow is a very famous Libra, and she's got like 5 or 6 planets in Libra, and she's all about, you know, she was known, you know, especially in her early Hollywood days for, having all the men and the different boyfriends and Brad Pitt and all the hot guys in Hollywood, but she was kind of known for, yes, for her acting, but even more so in the tabloids for her romances. That was always, that's a very Libra thing, okay, is wanting to have a partner and balance and all that. So the good news is that we have to kind of look at the hidden entity here, and that's the way out of all of this selfishness, this self-focus, this ruthlessness, this aggressiveness, the tears, and what about me, and poor me, because Cancer can be a victim a little bit, so poor me, what about me, is to get into this more Libra kind of thing of like, hey, everybody, can we play nice? Can we get along well? Mediation, balance, fairness, all that Libra stuff. And let's make it pretty while we're at it. Like, let's make it pretty and nice. That's kind of can be a Libra thing. And so it's really, really something that we have to kind of work on, is knowing that everybody right now is doing their best. And their best might not be great. Because these planets are really testing us and grinding us and doing all this kind of stuff. It's been kind of, we'll say, interesting. So, Ashley Jean, what about North and South Node and cardinal signs? I'm not sure which cardinal signs, you didn't say. Lauren said, yes, Libra is wonderful. That's your rising sign. Oh, that's so cool. Yeah. Moon and Aries. Okay, so your rising sign and your moon are opposing each other. And so you have a little of both of these. You have a little bit of that aggressive Aries, though it's more internal. And your rising sign, which is how you outwardly appear, is like, come on, let's be friends. So it's that kind of a thing. Noel said, hey, Nitty, how do two Libras work together? I would think good, except we always have to keep in mind, a lot of people forget this, that Libra is a cardinal sign, even though it's more of like the softer kind of sign out of all of these other three. Libra can be a little bit more softer and more willing to work and be nice and friendly, okay? But it is cardinal. Remember, Gwyneth Paltrow is a badass businesswoman, okay? She owns Goop, and she, people kind of make fun of her a lot, almost like she's some kind of like airhead and she doesn't really know what she's doing, and she's quite the businesswoman. I mean, she's got a very, very successful thing going on there, but she does it in a way where it's like that, it's that air sign quality. The two Libras are air signs, so that's that air sign quality of just like, oh, it's fine, easy breezy, that's kind of the thing. And that's kind of how Gwyneth works, where Capricorn's very serious, Cancer's like, a little bit more, can be a little aggressive too. I'll tell you, I know some Cancers, because they got the claw. Remember, Cancer is the crab. They got the claw and the shell, and very protective and guarded. I mean, sometimes they can be that way. So Ashley said North Node in Aries. Okay, so that's your destiny. So yeah, you will be feeling this Aries stuff, especially Mars in Aries is pushing your North Node in Aries, Ashley Jean, to get up and move and do something, because it's time to embrace your destiny and embrace what you're supposed to be doing here. Jackie, welcome. Virgo, Libra rising, Scorpio moon. And so, yeah, so it's one of those things where we're going to be kind of facing this, and as Mercury goes through, because remember, Mercury formed a square today with Mars. That was the exactitude. And so what's going to happen is on Thursday, Mercury is going to be opposing Jupiter, which is not even pictured down here. So we're not getting out of this cardinal T-square anytime soon. Usually these things release after a couple days, but not this particular one. This particular one's going to keep on giving, we'll just say. So on this coming Thursday, Mercury is going to form an opposition to Jupiter, and that's on July 30th, 2020. Then Mercury is going to form a trine with Neptune, and that's on the 30th. So then on August 1st, Mercury is going to oppose Pluto. Then on August 3rd, on the full moon, Mercury is going to oppose Saturn. Now, if this sounds at all familiar to you guys, the last new moon that we just had on July 20th, which was, remember when I said it was a new moon, but it really was going to feel more like a full moon on July 20th? By the way, if you guys saw my tree debacle, that's when I discovered the tree was actually cracked. It was on that day, and it felt like a full moon to me for sure. I'll tell you, that was a crazy thing. On the real full moon, so on the new moon, the sun was opposed Saturn. So on the real new full moon that's coming up on the 3rd, August 3rd, which is the full sturgeon moon, that's when Mercury's going to oppose Saturn. So we can't get even away from these moons without having this opposition kind of taking place with the sun opposed Saturn, and now Mercury's going to oppose Saturn. So all of this is kind of still difficult type of stuff, and I knew this was going to be kind of sort of testing us with these oppositions. And it's Cancer opposing Capricorn still, and again, I should say, only this time now we're adding the energy. What's different between this and last week or the week before was that the sun is the ego. It's like the totality of us, like, and boy, is it egotistical, and it affects our whole being. Where Mercury is our brain processes, communication, and transportation. So cars, planes, trains, buses, automobiles, communication, any way you communicate, which nowadays is computers and cell phones. It's not carrier pigeon and quills. It's any way that we communicate. So that's basically what's going to be affected. So it's almost going to feel like a mini Mercury retrograde. And so here's the thing, especially when we're talking about this missing link, which is Libra up here. This is the missing link that I drew in there. We need to pay extra special attention to our romantic partners and our romantic relations, because right now there could be a lot of hurt feelings if we say the wrong thing, if we do the wrong thing. And what is really happening overall is there's like a little bit too much of an aggressive background. There's too much stuff going on that's very sort of aggressive. We need to slow down. We need to have some patience. Oh my goodness, have patience, slow it down. If people kind of threaten you a little bit with ego, or step on your toes, or make you feel less than, or all that stuff right now is going to hurt everybody's feelings. So we just want to slow it down, and we want to make sure that we're not too sensitive over stuff. I mean, kind of keep in mind and remember that everybody's trying their best. Even when somebody, think about your own life. If you were doing whatever it was you were doing, even if it sucked, even if it was not, well, you look back and you're like, I could have done that a million times better. In the moment, you felt and you thought you were doing your best. Everybody's doing their best, even at the worst. When we're at our worst, we're still doing the best we can in that moment. So remember that about your fellow human beings here, because it's hard. All of this kind of stuff, all of 2020 is hard. I mean, it's a year that's shaping us. It's pushing us to grow. It's really, really a growth year. I mean, this is what we're all talking about, is it's a growth year, and it's pushing us to change. You have to keep in mind, 2020 numerology wise is actually a 4. 4 is about change. 4, it actually resonates to the number of Uranus. So 4, Uranus is like unexpected events, shakeups, shocking things. I mean, all of this stuff with COVID, all of the stuff with Black Lives Matter, though that's not shocking, but I guess the way it all erupted around the United States was shocking, and all of this stuff is a shocking thing for a lot of people. So I hope that kind of gives you all, sort of some wisdom here. I'm trying to find my calendar here. I hope this gives you guys some wisdom, and on top of it, the numerology of July is 11, so it's a master number for July of 2020. It's 11, so 4 plus 7 is 11, and so it's an 11 month. which is a karmic month, meaning that a lot of kind of like karmic things are sort of happening, things from past life, hard things, you know. When we talk about, I'll talk about that for a second. When I talk about numerology and I refer to master numbers, that's 11, 22, 33, 44, 55, 66, and up. Those, when I say master, and if I tell somebody in a reading like, hey, you're a master soul, they think, I don't feel like a master, you know. It's not about mastery. It's not, meaning, in other words, it's not like you came here like did it, done it, on it, figured it out, like I'm the master. It means that your soul signed up for the PhD program. It's a different perspective and way of looking at it. It means that your soul is in a harder life lesson program. I mean, I know a lot of 11s, 22s, 33s that have very, very difficult lives. I mean, because the soul, in theory, signed up for this, signed up for the accelerated program. Well, which is harder, first grade or your PhD? I mean, it's probably PhD. First grader might say that's hard, you know, obviously. But getting the PhD, it gets harder and harder and harder as you go up in education. That's kind of the way things are. So July is an 11-month overall. Now, next month is going to be a different deal. It's going to be a 3-month, not to say that that month is necessarily going to be easy, but it's just a different numerology vibration. But overall, we are in a 4-year, all year long, which is shocking, unexpected events, crazy upsets, things out of nowhere. But a lot of people, I'm doing tons and tons of readings for people who are completely changing their lives, and it's in a lot of ways working out for them. And you know, obviously there are people who are not adjusting. I keep telling people, if you're holding on real tight to whatever it is you had or wanted or whatever, so you know, in some way you have to kind of let go in order to gain. And so it's just one of those things. It's, you have to let go and trust and relax that the universe has something else in store for you. You might not be able to see if it's good or bad right now, but it is something that could be good. And especially if you keep your vibration up high, and you don't kind of dip down into the, you know, this is really hard. I mean, it's hard. It's difficult because we're all kind of struggling with that. Even myself, I struggle with that. Like, you know, I'm like, oh, this COVID thing and the economy and all these things, you know. I mean, the news, especially of politics and stuff, it's all hard, you know, but it's forcing us to change, and it's pushing us in a direction where it's asking us all to change. And so that's what we're supposed to be doing. So I hope that helps. This is the astrology of this week. So Mercury, you're going to have almost like a little mini Mercury retrograde, and Libra, feeling the energy of Libra and knowing that we have to go into balance, fairness, beauty, and really focus on the love. Like, where's the love in all of that? I mean, that's really where it's at. Love, you know, not to sound too hippy dippy, but I'm not afraid to do so. Love conquers all. You know, I mean, you can't lose in the vibration of love. I mean, that's for sure. You're going to definitely lose in the vibration of stress and hate and, you know, despair and fear and depression. That's not a great energy to manifest from, and not a great energy to reside in. You got to be in the love bubble to get good positive outcomes. And so even like my tree, I was very, very, very stressed out about my tree because all the tree people said, oh, your tree could fall and, you know, kill somebody, basically. I mean, everybody was saying that, like, you got to get this tree down. It's like a 911 emergency. And I just kept seeing the tree staying where it was until help could come. You know, I was visualizing the tree just staying in place. Basically what happened was the tree branch was sitting on the other tree branch, so I was visualizing it staying there and not going anywhere. Okay, so that's basically you know, I tried to stay in that good positive energy, and I just kept asking for the helpers, and finally I had somebody that could help me. So it didn't look how I thought it was going to look, but it was a great company and they did a good job. But it came from that place of being in love, you know, in the place of love and knowing that the universe was going to protect me. And so when we're in fear, we're not in faith. right? Are you in faith or are you in fear? I have to remind everybody of that because that's really, really important. Okay, so I'm going to take some questions. So this is our cardinal T-square. Once again, just want to show everybody that's the anatomy of it and how it kind of looks. And Jupiter will be joining this mess. Capricorn's in there. Pluto, Saturn, even Pallas Athena is in there. So that's basically what's happening is Mercury is opposing these planets here, and then all of that is causing rift with Mr. God of War, Mars, you know. So there's some aggressiveness out there. Woo! So we want to be tranquil. So I was trying to think of like some really lovely stones, and I actually forgot to pull it over here, but I will definitely focus on these guys. Rose quartz. So if anybody has rose quartz, I would definitely go into rose quartz with Libra, trying to get that balance. And any of these purple type stones, okay, this is like an amethyst, a really light colored amethyst. This is lepidolite, okay. Any of the lighter colored stones, lavender stones, purple stones, are great for depression and being in your crown chakra. A lot of this Aries, Pluto, you know, Capricorn energy is very lower chakra stuff, like safety and security, ego, you know, all that stuff is at lower chakras. We want to be up a little higher than that, you know, with our crown chakra. And that's basically, I think it's funny when I'm doing these videos and like and the video, it'll take a snapshot of me doing something weird like this, and then that'll be the thumbnail for the video. I think it's kind of funny that it does that. So anyway, so rose quartz or any of these purple stones to bring you up higher reasoning, higher. We want to have higher perspective, higher reasoning, because this guttural stuff down here, safety, security, scarcity, fighting over the last dollar with somebody, you know, and none of that's all, I don't want to say an illusion because it feels real when we're in it, but it's not real. It's like that stuff is just sticky earth stuff, you know, and we got to rise up above it. Almost like think of the archetype of like a bird, you know, rising up like an eagle, you know, soaring above all of this stuff. So I hope that helps everybody. So anybody has any questions? Ooh, I didn't see there was a lot of questions here. Oh no. So Jill said, constant talk of divorce. You have 2 young kids, feels very unstable. Husband is tough. Oh no, verbally abusive. Doesn't think he is. Okay. Let me pull a card for you, Jill, because I feel like you need some help there, girl. And Lori said she's working on her love bubble. That's great. All right, let me look at Jill's marriage here. What does she need to know? What does she need? Her angels. I'm using my fairy deck, so what do her angels need her to know about that marriage situation? Okay, you need a break, girl. Vacation, which is hard in COVID, right? We can't go on vacation easily. We'll just say that, you know, can't go on vacation easily. But you need a break, separation, time away. I mean, I think a lot of these things that are happening or going on. Jill, this is for Jill, who's having struggle in her marriage. A lot of the stuff that's happening, I don't know if you've been quarantined with him more lately. It feels like you're really on top of each other, Jill, you and your spouse, and I feel like you guys need some time apart. It's too much. Also, there's a lot of nitpicking going on, and I hate to tell you, girl, but it feels like it's both ways. It's like the cap on the toothpaste, like who left the cap off the toothpaste? You know, there's a lot of nitpicking, and there's a lot of feeling like a passive aggressiveness a little bit. Like he might say things, but you say things kind of back to him, and it's gotten into a pattern, almost like a tango, like a toxic pattern tango, like he says something and then you say something and then he says it. It's like it's going back and forth. It does feel like there's both. So I would say you need to go on this vacation for sure. You need time away. You need to get out of that. And you got to get back in the love bubble. I'm not telling you if you have a person who's abusive, verbally, physically, sexually, whatever, that's requires some serious help of a counselor or somebody. But I also, it's not like I want you to ignore what he's doing, okay? But I do want you to focus on, are you keeping your vibe high, or are you going down with his vibe? Like, everybody's got like kind of vibes that we put off when we're in relationships, and either you're getting sucked into that vibe or they're getting sucked into your vibe. And what needs to happen is someone's got to be an anchor up here in order to pull somebody up. It's the only way that it works. Because if the other person's always sucking you down, well, then, you're going down. It's not good. So I hope that helps. Jill said you're 100% right. Yeah. Stop with the little jabs that you give him too, because I think you do. If you can have some mindfulness around that, stop doing that, because we can't get love from hate, right? We can only get love from love. So I would say that, but I'd also say you might want to get into some counseling and some other things, because I feel there are some deeper issues there. So I hope that helps, Jill. Okay, wow, there's a lot of questions. I missed some of these, so I'm sorry. Let's see. Ashley had a romantic question. Who said, let's see, somebody said something about, Lori said, wants to know about the direction of her business. So I'm going to do a very quick thing for Lori. So welcome if you're just joining, and go ahead and post your astrological sign. I am definitely Lori, direction of her business. Ooh. Okay, so before I show you the card, Lori, I want you to take into context. This is not only this, but it's also passion. So the direction of your business, sexuality, could definitely be a sex business, I guess, so some kind of thing where you sell romantic oils or some kind of thing. Or, which I don't think that's it. I think that this is about having passion. It's the card of sexuality. And so it's interesting because, Lori, I feel like you have to be passionate about your business. I also feel that it's not necessary. How do I say this? It's almost like it's not a new business, but it's a business that in some way has already been around but needs to be restarted, or is in the process of getting restarted or rebranded or something. It feels almost like there is, oh, Lori said it's wine. Oh, nice. Yes, wine can be very sexy. But in some way, I feel like there's like a rebooting of this business. It's not entirely a new business. It feels like in some way it's getting like an overhaul, a reboot, a rebranding, some kind of a thing where you're like almost like giving it a second like look at, or whatever, second incarnation or something. So I comment below if you want to say something, but I feel like as if that's the thing, and I want you to be really passionate about, and also with your marketing, sex sells, girl. I mean, when it comes to wine and not just sex, but like sensuality, I mean, like having, you're working on building your systems. Yeah, I feel like you're giving it like a reboot or an overhaul or something, and I want you to be in love with your business again. I want you to get excited about your business again and really get passionate about your business. So many women now are getting into the wine industry, and it's like, it's great. It's a great thing. And remember, sensuality, like focusing on the sensual, like all the senses. I mean, with wine, it's the olfactory, but it's more than that. It's the sound, it's the sight, it's the taste, it's the grapes, it's the ground, it's all of that stuff. So I want you to embrace the sensuality of your business, Lori. So I hope that helps. I really, really do think I'm getting November for you. Something big in November's coming. But I really do think the groundwork that you're laying right now for your business, like the rebooting you're giving it and rebuilding of it or whatever, it feels really good. It feels solid and it's good. So I hope that helps. Oh, Catherine, hi, how you doing? Caring for your elderly mother, you need peace. Can you pull a card? Of course, girl. Jill said you're 100% right. Thank you, Jill. I'm glad that helped. And yes, if it's serious, Jane Moon Wolf was saying that about getting a hotline or some kind of a thing too. I mean, that can always help as well. Yes. Okay, so Catherine Gregory, this is for you, girl. Yes, you're welcome, Lori. I'm glad I could help. Okay, and so I'm just going to do one more for Catherine. Oh, Ashley Jean wanted a card too, so I'm going to do one for Catherine. What does she need to know about your mama? And for you, let me pull a card for you because I feel like a lot of stuff is for her, right? So I'm going to do one for you. There's a lot of energy with that. Woo, this is heavy. I know you're caring for your mom. I'm getting like a lot of tightness in my chest area. I don't know if it's something to do with heart or breathing or lungs or what is going on here with I know I just said I was going to pull a card for you, but when I was dipping into your mom's energy, that's what I'm feeling. So there's a lot of tightness in the chest area. I don't know if your mom's on oxygen or if she needs breathing assistance or something's going on with the breath area, okay, of your mama. Could be heart and lungs, whatever. So I'm saying a prayer for your mama. I know you've been kind of going through a long journey with your mom. So I hope that Catherine said, yeah, she has a lung issue. Yeah, I don't know if you could see, and I still kind of am feeling I'm trying to dump the energy, but I was having trouble breathing just for a second there. And that's kind of what happens to me when I'm doing readings for somebody who's ill or sick or whatever, is I feel it in my own body for just a moment and then I pass it on. But yeah, I could feel that. It's very tight. It's very, very tight in the chest area. Okay, so Catherine, this one's for you, girl. Rise above problems. Okay, I know that's easier said than done. 1,000,000%. I know that is, especially when you're dealing with your mom and and a loved one that you're so worried about or focused on. Rising above problems is knowing that you got to kind of also take a step back. I personally have been in an elderly caretaking situation in my life. I have done it personally, so I'm not saying this from a position of like, oh, just be, just don't worry about it, because I know. And caregiving burnout is a real thing. And this means you have to kind of rise above that if you can. And sometimes that just means taking 5 minutes and stepping away, and kind of getting some fresh air, going, getting like a nice salad for lunch or some kind of like all these little self-care things that you can do while you're caring for somebody else, because it's hard. Also, the time you're spending with her is priceless. I realize it's really hard to watch this, but it's also priceless. And on a soul level, there's not even a bigger compliment that you can give somebody is to help them in this time of their life. And so we all go through it, unfortunately, unless if we're hit by a bus one day. We all kind of, if we're going to die of natural causes, we all have these moments. And so to gift somebody with your time and your effort, energy is a beautiful thing. But you also have to remember to gift yourself. And that's what this card is to rise above that, and even rise above the physical of what you're in, and know that on a spiritual level, your mama knows you're there. I don't know if she's like totally coherent right now. She knows you're there, and she feels you and knows you and appreciates you. So I just wanted to let you know that, Catherine. I hope that helps. And so I'll say a prayer for your mama. I know that that's a real hard situation to go through. Okay, Ashley Jean, you said something about romance. So I'm going to pull one more card. And I am going to pull a card, the collective card that I always pull every week, to let you guys know what the angels, the universe, is trying to say to you. Yeah, Catherine, I know it's a lot. I know. Deep breath, girl. Deep breath. Okay, Ashley Jean, what do you need to know about your romance? Hey, Lynn, welcome. Haven't seen you in a while. Okay, so let's see. Ooh, you almost had one jump out there. Ashley Jean, new opportunity. So, this either means a new one, or this means a new opportunity to connect with your current one. It is something that I feel there might be a new one coming. I'm just saying that. I don't know if you're in a committed relationship or what your deal is, because it does feel kind of shaky. I don't know, but you are going to get a new chance, a new circumstance, a new person, and look at, she's like outside of a church window. It's so beautiful. But there is a new opportunity here. This situation that I don't know. It feels very shaky. Are you in a committed relationship right now, or what's going on? Because I feel like there's this like shakiness, like how do I say this? It's almost like the floor is made of sand. It's not like a solid flooring. It feels like it's like kind of, I'm sorry to say, but like almost like unraveling. The person that you're with like almost feels like they're having really a lot of problems, like with work or some kind of a thing. It's like a lot. There's like all these multiple layers. Separated but got back together. Oh geez, okay. Yeah, I don't know, girl. I don't know. This person's very, very, like, there's a lot going on. It's not to say that you don't have stuff going on, but this other person's got, like, a lot going on. And especially there's, like, something up with the work, the money flow, all this kind of stuff going on that person's side of things. And so that's also contributing to, like, their ability to 100% focus on this. I almost feel like you're I don't want to say an afterthought, but it's like that's how they're treating you. It's like kind of like, I'll get to you at the end of the day, or like some kind of it's almost like you're the last thing they're thinking of, and that's not cool. Ashley Jean. Yes, work. Speaking with another woman. So who's speaking with another woman? Is your partner speaking with another, or you're speaking with another one? I don't know. But anyway, you have another new opportunity coming in, and so let's not focus on that can't work person, because I don't know. The other person they got like a lot going on. So hope that helps. Okay, I am going to pull a collective card for each and every one of you. What do the people who are? Oh, your partner was talking to another woman. Oh, honey, no, honey, you're a queen. You don't need this. You don't need that stuff. This is too much. They have a lot going on. They have like, I don't want somebody that's like treating you like the last option or the last thing, that's not cool. It's not fun. Okay. I'm going to pull a collective card. What does everybody need to know that is on the broadcast and also viewing the broadcast even after it's already aired? What do you all need to know as a collective to help us get through this week, to help us, give us guidance? Like, what's the most important message here that we all need to know on a collective basis? Woo! Visualization. Blah. I said it one time, I couldn't say it again. Visualization. We need to visualize where we want to be and how we want to be and where we're going and all of that stuff. And so the thing with, God, I could talk about visual is, why can't I say this tonight? It's Mercury. It's got me all kind of, can't speak my words. We want to visualize where we want to be. And not the how, not how we get there, or how, just where you want to be in life. If you want to have a new job, have a new family, have a puppy, have a kitten, have a new apartment, have a new car, like wherever in your life you want to be, I want you to visualize that and as if you're already there. The only caveat to this card, and I will just say this, is that sometimes it's the negative side of this card. There's not much negative to obviously visualizing, okay? But there is a negative side to this card, which is sometimes when we encounter this card, we also might encounter somebody that's not being 100% honest with us this week. So just kind of, I don't want to say put that in your energy and watch out for that, but if something doesn't feel right, smell right, doesn't and you get a little hit like, that's not true, or that wasn't, I don't know, that didn't seem right, believe it. Okay, just believe it, because that's the only kind of caveat or warning that this card gives, because sometimes people are a little out of alignment, and so if we feel that, look, 9 times out of 10, 9.9 times out of 10, we usually feel when someone's out of alignment or they say something that's not true. We can feel that, okay? So trust your gut. Trust your gut. But otherwise, visualize where you want to be, okay? And visualize not the how, okay? I was daydreaming the other day at how I would like to work remotely for 1 month out of the year, all over the world. I'd like to take 1 month of the year and work remotely. I don't know how that's going to happen. I'm not even putting the how in my energy. I'm not thinking about how. I'm just going to be creating this new thing in my life. And I hope to be doing these videos and talking to you Monday night from maybe like Egypt or Barbados or wherever in the world I can talk with you guys, and that's my visualization I was having. So in other words, what do you want? What do you want in your life? And so that's what I will leave you all with. So we are dealing with this Cardinals T-square. Remember, the way out of the square is through Libra, which is all about balance, fairness, beauty, love and light, peace, and remembering the love bubble, being in the love bubble, being in a state of love instead of fear, instead of distrust, instead of all that, be in the love. And at the same time, we are going to visualize where we want to be, and we're going to be understanding and compassionate of folks that are struggling right now, because there are a lot of folks struggling hardcore. So I hope that helps everybody, and make sure you go over to YouTube and subscribe to my channel, like some of my videos. It's awesome. And Marianne said thank you. Nidhi, thank you. You're welcome, everybody. I appreciate you all. Just take a deep breath. If things feel overwhelming, the key is kind of slow down a little bit this week, because other people are going to be pushy and pushing their agenda, and we don't have to be subscribing to any of that. We can just say, give me a minute and let me think about this. So I hope that helps everybody. Namaste. I'm saying prayers for everybody on this broadcast, and also for the world, that we can find our healing and we can find our way through all of this interesting energy of 2020. Okay, take care, everybody. Bye.